As passionate Formula One enthusiasts, we occasionally enjoy expressing our grievances, and to be fair, who doesn't? Speaking on behalf of many, one of the significant concerns we, F1 fans, have regarding the current state of the sport revolves around the selection of tracks. While there are universally beloved circuits like Spa, Suzuka, Silverstone, and Interlagos, which everyone appreciates, the upcoming 24-race season brings with it a mix of well-received and questionable choices. In this video, the focus is on addressing the latter, the tracks that stand out as outliers. The goal is to explore potential improvements within realistic constraints. While it might be tempting to suggest drastic changes, such as widening Monaco, practical considerations need to be taken into account. One key issue plaguing F1 is the presence of dirt on tracks, a problem that persists in the current specifications and is expected to continue into 2025 with new regulation changes. These changes aim to enhance mechanical grip and reduce reliance on aerodynamics, particularly in medium-speed corners, where current F1 cars struggle to follow closely. Identifying overtaking opportunities, such as heavy braking zones, becomes crucial, as seen in Turn 1 at Interlagos, Eau Rouge at Spa, or the first chicane at Monza. While the following suggestions are made in good fun and acknowledge my non-expert status, it's worth noting that F1 professionals might excel at such considerations. In my opinion, there are 7 tracks that could use some rethinking. 3 of them, including France, Le Castellet, Abu Dhabi, Yas Marina, and Spain, Catalonia, received overwhelming agreement from a Twitter poll. The remaining 3 tracks were based on popular suggestions in the poll comments. Let's begin with Le Castellet. The Circuit Paul Ricard in France offers a high level of flexibility due to its expansive surroundings. While it boasts an aesthetically pleasing appearance, it's remarkable that, with ample space and possibilities, the track has ended up being lackluster. An achievement in itself, one might say. Focusing on the final sector, particularly turns 3 to 7, which are rather uninspiring, I've concentrated my efforts on this area for improvement. By pushing back and tightening corner 3, transforming it into a heavy braking zone, the aim is to encourage more overtaking opportunities. Introducing a nuanced right-left section followed by a prolonged right-hander, although medium speed, sets the stage for increased speed on the ensuing long straight. The goal is to enhance the overtaking potential at turn 8. Additionally, turn 11 has been sharpened to transform it into a more substantial braking zone, addressing the lack of overtaking opportunities in its current state. The final corner of the track isn't revamped for overtaking. Instead, it's designed to test driver skill. Drawing inspiration from the iconic Wall of Champions, I've added a feature on the left-hand side, akin to the original on the right. This challenges drivers, emphasizing the consequences of errors at the end of the lap. In this revised version, I've significantly reduced the number of medium-speed corners, hoping to address the existing challenges and enhance the overall racing experience on the Circuit Paul Ricard in France. Now let's talk about the season finale that seems to be everyone's least favorite. Of course, Abu Dhabi. Undeniably, it's a visually stunning venue with dramatic surroundings and captivating aesthetics. However, the sentiment towards the track design is not as favorable. While the overhead view may resemble a submachine gun, which is cool, the actual racing experience on the track is subpar. The first change is glaringly obvious because frankly nothing needs to be done, just remove the chicane at turns 5 and 6. This adjustment isn't rocket science. The strip of tarmac is already there. By eliminating this unnecessary chicane, a fantastic overtaking opportunity can be salvaged, as the track layout is already conducive to it. The less straightforward modification involves addressing the final sector, often criticized for resembling a car park. Due to the constraints imposed by the hotel and marina similar to Monaco, flexibility is limited. However, a potential improvement can be made by rounding off turn 14, allowing for increased speed leading into what is currently turn 17. By streamlining the track and eliminating a couple of unnecessary corners, a braking zone into a right turn is created, adding a much-needed overtaking opportunity in Sector 3. While I may not have the financial means to implement these changes, I'm confident that the organizers of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix have the resources to do so. The Circuit de Catalunya in Spain holds historical significance, and unlike many other tracks, it hasn't undergone alterations by Tilker. The primary issue, in my opinion, lies in its association with F1 testing, which contributes to its perceived problems. Additionally, the presence of numerous medium-speed corners poses challenges for Formula One cars. Taking a cue from the approach used for Abu Dhabi, the first adjustment involves making use of the existing tarmac. The unnecessary chicane can be eliminated by curving it off, allowing drivers to carry more speed into turn 1 effortlessly. Exploring potential alterations, I initially considered turns 4, but upon reflection, those turns have seen iconic moments and close racing. Instead, turns 7 and 8, which are relatively unremarkable, become the focus. Expanding and reshaping these corners, I propose extending the section and introducing a hard braking zone leading into a left-hand turn, transitioning into a right-hander. This modification aims to enhance the overtaking potential by preserving the braking zone down the following straight. In my perspective, every track should ideally feature 3 distinct overtaking zones, and I've sought to apply this principle to these adjustments. The goal is to make racing at Circuit de Catalunya more exciting and accommodating to strategic overtaking opportunities. First and foremost, there's a track that I strongly support, despite understanding why others may not share the same sentiment: Monaco. While the wheel-to-wheel action during the race may not always be jaw-dropping, the value lies in appreciating the immense effort, focus, and difficulty faced by drivers consistently navigating the narrow streets of Monaco at the edge of their capabilities. Monaco stands out as a unique circuit, offering the best practice and quality sessions. It may be short and narrow, in contrast to the long and seemingly monotonous tracks like Catalonia. The historic street circuit brings a different flavor to Formula One, making it a distinctive and cherished part of the calendar. Despite my love for Monaco, there are limitations to what can be done due to its narrow layout. Unlike other tracks, widening it or randomly adding braking zones isn't feasible. The strategic element in Monaco, however, is amplified. The lack of margin for error means that a miscalculation by strategists could cost a team the entire race. One modest proposal for improvement involves a loop near turn 8. Considering a roundabout on the left, drivers could navigate around it, allowing for a slightly faster entry into the tunnel and turn 10. This adjustment aims to enhance overtaking possibilities at turn 10, one of the limited, clear overtaking positions on the tight Monaco circuit. Beyond this suggestion, the limitations of the historic street circuit are acknowledged, and while there might not be much room for alterations, the unique challenges and charm of Monaco remain unparalleled. We're moving on to Singapore now, and among the 3 additional tracks, this one would be my pick. I've had the opportunity to visit Singapore, although not during the race itself. Walking around the empty pits was a pretty cool experience. I have a fondness for Singapore because of its vibrant lights and atmosphere. While the racing may be more engaging than Abu Dhabi, I understand that it might not be the most exhilarating event. Turn 10 seems somewhat lackluster, so let's discard that and reintroduce the single-file porcelain, adding a touch of nostalgia. To compensate for the lost overtaking opportunity at turn 10, I propose transforming the final corner into a thrilling overtaking spot. By eliminating turns 19 and 20 and extending it into a long straight, we could create space for exciting race dynamics. True, there's a youth Olympic park in that area, but relocating it elsewhere is a feasible solution. The final touch involves tightening up the last corner, turning it into another hard braking zone right at the end of the circuit. While there might be a minor challenge with the proximity to the river, a bit of land extension should do the trick. We possess the capability to make such adjustments, envisioning scenarios where during the final laps, a racer is tailing closely, setting the stage for a thrilling pass at that very corner. At number 6, and certainly not the least in my opinion, is another track that has been mentioned a few times. And I personally rate it as a solid B-tier track. We're looking at China. Turn 1 is impressive, featuring fast-flowing medium-speed corners, which might be a challenge to address. I've focused on reworking the medium-speed section to enhance overtaking opportunities, creating a hard braking zone and potentially making turn 11 a more favorable spot for overtaking. The beauty of China being a purpose-built racing track is that some of the necessary tarmac is already in place, making these adjustments feasible. All 6 tracks have undergone transformations, and you can see the changes on screen from their original form to their mid-transformation and final form. I invite your thoughts and feedback in the comments below. If there are missed opportunities or things that could have been changed differently, I'm open to hearing your perspectives.